usual here. That might fucking help, wouldn't it?
I'm trying to find it, and it's just being difficult to find because it's an X. It has an X at the beginning of the name, so I have to
Also, I've recently just found my new addiction.
Oh,
Oh no,
Potion
what is it?
craft.
yes. Oh, by the way, Behemoth, I wanted to ask you real quick before we went and you hit the button.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Let me just mute then.
No.
There we go. Now everyone's audible again.
Right. Head count here. We have Hungry Dragonborn.
Mm-hmm.
We have the bard who doesn't act like a bard.
Nani?
We then have the other studious Dragonborn.
Bonjour.
Then we have the definitely not a furry.
I'm an elf, you weirdo.
Well, you still responded to it, so. All right. So, checks all around. Everybody good to go? Yes, no?
I think we're
I
missing
hope
our
so.
Fey creature.
There we
Beautiful,
go.
beautiful, beautiful. All right. So let's go ahead and get today's session of Dungeons and Dragons in the works, shall we? All right. So, as we last left off with our intrepid adventuring party, after managing to get themselves not only a new traveling companion for the foreseeable future of their stay around the Amber Forest.
Oh wait, where's High?
He can't make it. He is with family today.
Oh duh, that's
Okay.
right. Sorry. My
No.
brain derped.
It's all right. It happens.
But it derped. It's not supposed to derp. The brain
If it
derped.
doesn't-
It's
if
a
it
bad
doesn't-
derp.
If it doesn't do that, then
If it
you have
doesn't
some
derp, then you're not doing it right. There comes a time in a man's life, or woman's, I'll use the quote here, when it is time to find out whether or not it is a derp or not to derp.
That
And it
is
will
the
always be
question.
derp.
Bro, have you ever heard the song Herpty Derp?
Yes, I have. Let's not bring it up in company of others.
I'm sorry.
Right. So, let's go ahead and get ourselves into a bit of a recap with our party. So, barring any other distractions, as we last picked up, and where I will pick up where I last left off as well. After once again making their way with this new traveling companion around the Amber Forest to where their destination most possibly beheld what they were looking for, a brother or some sort of related familial blood of Lady Brokenridge, after needing to get some medication, or at least some sort of, well, what you could only hope was something to make or even distill medication for the ailments of Lord Brokenridge. As we pick ourselves up and get back into character, our party has found themselves surrounded by what seem to be corrupted fey-like creatures with bits and pieces of black tendrilled veins that reach up their arms from underneath thick masses of moss, both pustulant and seeping with what look to be almost sore-like masses of blackened ichor. The eyes themselves almost like that of a tiefling. No irises except for the complete pitchness of a grayish black. And the corrupted nature around of all the sickened and twisted trees that look crystallized and black. And as we pick up there, I will go ahead and say I would like you all to please roll me some initiative.
Ooh, we
Actually,
haven't
hold on, I will
done
be
that in a
right
while.
back. My mom wants me to check the mail. I'm
I'll
sorry.
roll initiative for you. It's all right.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Anyways, we have Zoram with the whole 57 as always.
Well, no. That's you're thinking of his other character when he gets a 37 rolling a fucking 2.
What?
Yeah, it's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
He has
Sure.
dexterity.
Yeah.
He gunslinger go Bert.
Doesn't even have a gun, and he just slings.
Player without a gun, no less.
Well,
I see we're back to this bullshit.
Maybe because you know I actually
got-
Come back here with that bullshit.
person.
Me coming back there with my bullshit.
I got
Alright.
23.
Oh, look at
Alright.
you, Mr. 23, huh?
At least it's a realistic roll. Ahem.
Mine is.
All right.
Mr.
So
Wicked.
25 to 20.
20,
All right. So 24, you say?
23.
I was giving you shit. So 23, we have Volus up first. Hopefully. All right. 20 to 15.
19.
All right. So 19, we then have Zoram. At an 18 plus whatever, we then have Clyde, which I believe is a +2. So that is a 20. Yeah. Dirty 20. So it goes Clyde, Zoram.
Now let's see you.
So,
Now let's see you go through the freaking categories.
So 15 to 10.
Nope. Go lower.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, good God. Oh, good God. Head to 5.
I got a 5 with
You
bonuses.
got another fourth one. All right, so 5. Nirim.
Mhm.
Always a strong end to a round. And then we have currently the other Fey creature who's helping you guys. He got a 16 on his initiative roll. So then we have him, and then let's go ahead and get some initiative for them. Yeah, it could be better. All right. So, top of the round, Volus, what are you doing? As you currently look around, you are surrounded, and these things look like they are charging spells.
I am back.
Welcome
Thank
back.
you. You got a 18 plus whatever your dex is, which I believe is +2, correct?
No. Wait. Yes. I think.
Your dexterity modifier.
I think.
I should not know your sheet better than you. I
Well,
still
at
love
the-
you, Hope.
At the
All
current
right.
moment, you do.
All right.
Hmm?
So, Volus, once again, what are you doing?
You know what? I am. I can already do that spell as a reaction, so I am going to start off with a firebolt. To start.
Firebolt. All right. So which one do you want to hit? All right. Here, let me give you some numbers here. So you have number 1 to your northeast. You have number 2 to your direct, or actually to your west, to your northwest. You have 2 to your direct west, 3 to your southwest, 4 and 5 are to your south and to your southeast, respectively.
Well, first thing I'm gonna do is spend a sorcery point to twin spell the firebolt, and
Okay.
I'm going to cast one at phase 4 and at phase 5.
Okay. So go ahead and make me your attack rolls on that.
Okay.
So as you immediately point your hands out, seeing yourself surrounded, it's almost like one of those scenes out of, oh my God, an old Western. You just pull your hands out and immediately, and you see as the small bolts of light just immediately sling out into the dark.
First one's 17. The second one's 19.
Both hit. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
First one I got. Phase 4 takes 15.
Okay.
Phase 5 takes rerolling 14.
Okay, so immediately as these fire bolts scorch out from it, you see as they impact across the flesh, not as much as you were hoping. It seems magic does not have a great effect against these creatures. So, But as you see it puff across, it does still do damage. It does still do damage. Is there anything else you'd like to do, movement-wise and or using your bonus action?
Let's see. Bonus action. I could. Movement wise, I'm going to move more towards the center just so I can have a much easier time of view for around
Okay.
here. So I just moved 5. Bonus, I'm actually going to save that for reaction.
Stood. All right. So as you cast out the fire and immediately back yourself up into the crowd, you look around and you see these Fae do not look very happy that you're casting spells back at them. After that, does that end your turn?
It does.
All right, Clyde, you're up. As you currently look behind you, and you're looking and see the rest of the party gearing up
Mhm.
for a fight. You see as your Fey friend is currently bringing his hands out to cast a spell as well, but it
Mhm.
seems as Volus gets his off first. What are you doing?
I think you know what we're doing. We're gonna start playing battle music in the background.
Go ahead, make me a performance check.
Dirty 20.
All of a sudden, you see as whipping out their instrument. What instrument are you whipping out of the two that you have?
Obviously, we're
Harmonica.
doing the French horn.
You see, as a pulling out the horn, you hear the most beautiful rendition of combat music you've ever heard. Would you like to inspire anybody?
Who hasn't gone yet?
You have. You could actually inspire Volus if you wanted to, but you could inspire Zoram, your new fire friend, or your Fey friend, or
Let-
Nirim.
Let's just go, Volus.
All right, so Volus, as you hear this combat music, you feel yourself inspired to combat.
Mhm.
So, Clyde, having your action to go ahead and pull out your thing and immediately start blaring combat music that starts distracting somewhat as these creatures start ducking away. It actually
Mhm.
seems like they aren't used to the brassy notes of a French horn.
Hell yeah. We're
So-
gonna we're gonna continue to just jam out in the back.
All right,
Yeah.
so Clyde immediately playing some sort of Mission Impossible, not even Mission Impossible. I say Metal Gear Solid. That has a lot of trumpet to it.
You
So
know which
Metal Gear
is.
Solid.
No,
All right,
which is.
so after that, we then have Zoram. Zoram, you're up. What are you doing?
I'm going to pull out my crossbow.
Okay.
And I am going to shoot. I'm gonna shoot Fey 2 because he's closer than Fey 1.
Go for it. So you immediately pull your hands out as your crossbow materializes from your quick draw. Go ahead and make me an attack roll. Or I'll actually put him
So it has
in
a
a square.
+1 because it is magical.
Imagine being a magic user and using actual weapons.
Well, I'm using a magical weapon because I enchanted this thing.
Imagine using actual weapons looks back to my old tiefling bard.
So that
Believe it or
is-
not, a lot more combat using a rapier than freaking magic. Because they specialize in illusion magic.
that's 27 to hit.
27 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
So this is also counting as magic damage because
Yes.
it is not loaded. Is that a D8? Yeah, it's a D8. I was like trying to squint at my sheet here because the writing is so small. So that is
See, people, this is why you write bigger on paper, so that way you don't have to worry about having
Well,
fucked up
isn't-
eyes like Hooby.
it isn't so hold on. It is so 6 plus 5,
Okay.
so 11 points of piercing magic damage.
Awesome. All right. So
I don't have to worry about reloads.
So as your crossbow and you release the bolt, and you see it sail out in the distance, and it hits in. It almost sounds like you're hitting tree bark. And the moment you look over at it, the damage from the bolt doesn't look like it did as much as you would hope. It seems that the clerics were right. Seems silver is the best way through these things. All right.
I have silver.
So you do have silver, but you don't have silver bolts. All right. So we then have our amazing, because if that ends your turn, Zorn.
I don't have any bonus action abilities, so yeah, that does end my turn.
All right, understood. So after that, we then have our other guy here. He's actually going to look around and taking a hint from you. He doesn't exactly know what exactly is going on here. He does know that this isn't going to be a good idea. You know what? He's going to go ahead and do, or at least try and do Scorching Ray. Let's see, does it work? Bum. So he points his hands out and immediately throws hurling the 3 rays. You know what? He'll throw them all at one. He sees what you guys are doing. He's going to try and target number 2. So this is going to be... Okay, first one fucking misses. Second one hit. Third one misses as well. So you see from the 3 bolts that immediately spark out from his fingers, almost like one of those old school World War II flamethrowers. It just ignites from his fingertips. And you see as it blazons itself through these darkened, corrupted woods. And 2 of them manage to shear just past the Fae, who manages to somehow move their form, almost like dancing, a marionette style, out of the way until the second one just slams right into the middle of its figure. All right. Nimble creatures. 6 points of damage. So as it's trying to get out of the way, and the first one just immediately gets smacked by this magical spell, you do see it starts burning away at the flesh and corrupted portions of moss and such that have corroded over it. It does not. It still looks healthy, but it's starting to look real hurt, too. Like the wear and tear of combat is actually starting to build up on it quickly. All right. So, ending his turn, we then have our creatures, our corrupted Fae. So, with
Kinda
that,
tasty.
their turn. All right. So, the second one is going to take his turn first. It does not like how much damage it's taking. It's going to go ahead and cast Mage Armor on itself. As you see, a thin coat of almost what looks to be Fae-like will-o-wisp energy just starts vibrating from it. And the eminent vibration of power, just the arcane nature of it, it almost makes it hard to look at them. And you just see as it radiates this. Let's see. It's going to go ahead and step out of the way, too. It's going to try and get a little bit of cover from you guys. All right. So with that, next one, Fae number 1. It's going to go ahead and cast Magic Missile over at you, Volus. Simple level 1. So you take 7. So that becomes... Hey, you're excused. You take 16 points of force damage as suddenly these 3 missiles just immediately smack you in the side. The kind of creepy Cheshire-like smile that these creatures get, you do see as the cracked lips that immediately curl into it reveal crooked and rotten teeth that look to be as black as the veins they have running through their arms. All right, then we have the next one. All right, Fae number 3. You know what? He is actually going to go ahead and... You know what? He's going to do the same thing. He's going to cast Mage Armor on itself. And with that... What's he going to do with his movement? You know what? For his movement, he's actually going to get a little bold here. 30. He's going to start moving up. Next Fae over here is going to try and cover him. He's going to go ahead and cast a Firebolt over at Rowan.
No, not Rowan.
That will hit.
No.
you watch as Rowan is currently keeping an eye out for everything, and you just see as a firebolt just immediately rips him right in the side, and it takes him in the shoulder. The smell of boiling bacon and the immediate smell of just kind of singed cloth and padded armor is immediately prevalent. So, how much damage does he take? He takes 8 points of fire damage. Not too bad. Not looking too hurt just yet. All right, then we have the last one. Last one is going to do the same thing. It's going to cast Mage Armor on itself. So that is all of them out of the way. And then, you know what? Yeah, they're sitting pretty over here. So, ending their turn, we then have Niram. You're up. And then Rowan actually finishes us off.
All right, Niram's gonna, with greatsword in hand, run towards Fey 1.
All right, so 5, 10, 15, 30, 35. So that would be, I believe you have 35 feet of movement?
I have 40 feet of movement.
So you can make it there on 40 feet.
Hmm.
And you currently see as it's eyeing you, it gives a really crackling, and it's hissing at you as you come towards you. It's almost like it's trying to intimidate you away. But
I
you
have a
knowing
I
better,
have a
this
funny
creature is
idea.
nothing but a sword and shield.
Yep.
Yes.
Let me just check how many I have left. I think I am down to this single one. Yep. He's gonna pack out his last javelin.
All right.
And he's gonna chuck it.
Go for it. Go ahead and make me a ranged spell or ranged melee. Fuck's sake, why is this so hard for me to English today? Make me a strength-based ranged attack.
All right.
Thank you.
Come on. Oh, that's a 16.
16 actually just hits. Go ahead and roll me
Oh,
some damage.
thank God. Let's see. That's max damage. 9 damage from that.
So you throw your javelin out, and as it sinks into the chest, once again, it sounds like you're throwing it into tree bark, and it's the. It doesn't actually get much of a reaction out of it, but you do see that there is a glint of pain in the small, emotionless, like muscles that move through. They crackle through the face, and it still seems to be a bit upset that you managed to get this close to it.
Yep. And as a follow up for the bonus action, he's just gonna unsheath his greatsword, stand ready.
All right. So immediately doing that, after you is going to be Roan. Roan is actually going to use bonus action. He's going to point out, it's like, go get him! And Niram, you feel inspired.
All right.
As he's going to go ahead and whip himself around. And he's going to cast at a second, and he's going to look at him. Hey, fuckwad! You look like your mother did last night! He's going to cast Vicious Mockery. Ooh, that's a fail. So, as this creature is getting itself away, it actually peers back around and snarls at what he says.
I wouldn't be
Wow.
surprised if the tree just turns
it-
around and just flips him off.
It took maximum damage there.
What? Oh my God.
Nani?
Maximum damage there. So it took that is 2d4 because he upcasted it. So that is that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 points of
Jesus.
psychic damage.
Death by self-esteem. Where have I heard this?
It's called death by depression.
And you actually see, even though it's snarling back at this remark, it actually seems to be backing. It's actually looking visibly hurt now by just how degraded it looks.
Good.
All right. So, with that, ending Rowan's turn, top of the round, back to you, Volus. Volus, you see as all of these creatures seem to be armoring themselves up with their arcane magic. What are you doing?
There's a smirk on Velos, but he decides to quickly cast Misty Step first to move
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 right here, and then move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 face this way.
Okay.
And using that bar is inspiration, he's going to cast a line of a 5, 10, 15. Wait. 5, 10, 15, a 25-foot tidal wave heading this way.
Okay, and I believe that is 5 or 10 feet wide.
Let me double check. Uh, it can be up to 30 feet long. Uh, the area can be up to 30 feet long and up to 10 feet wide and up to 10 feet tall.
Okay, so 10 feet wide, 10 feet tall, and you are doing it that way. All right, beautiful. So, doing it that way. All right, where the fuck is my bag here? Come on. Where are you, motherfucker?
Right there.
I can't fucking find my range fucking tablet things. God damn it, motherfucker. You know what? Fuck it. All right. So, that happens. You cast it this way. It should just actually. Okay, and you're casting it in this direction?
Yes.
You're casting it that way?
Yep.
All right. So that is, I believe, a deck save or a strength save.
It is dexterity.
All right, deck save. All right. Oof, okay. That is a 16 on the save.
16. Let me just go back to my sheet. I just made it.
So as you throw out your hands and immediately casting, as you watch the water start seeping out of the ground, you almost see as this Fae kind of laughs at you in some Sylvan tongue. I believe you speak Sylvan, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. And it's, you have no magic compared to our master. And then you just kind of smirk as you bring your hand up and you watch as this wall of water washes up and surges forward. As it plasters itself through the trees, you just watch as it ducks itself down and brings its arm through. Its elbow impacts first and manages to break through the wave. I believe it takes half damage still, though, correct?
It does.
Yep, so go ahead and roll that.
Let me check. Its length is 10 feet long, so it's 2 squares, right?
Yes, 2 squares.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was longer. Um, they take half of. They take half of 29 damage.
Half of 29, so I believe that would be 15?
I think it's 14, or is it 15 because we round up?
I round up.
Okay, then it's
I always
15.
round up for you guys.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
so
yeah.
15. So immediately you run over and see as it breaks through the wave, it looks fairly hurt, actually. Granted, the magic isn't doing much against it, but it still looks fairly hurt.
Okay, and you know what? I am going to. Actually, that's all I can do. I'm just going to take 5 to my last 5 feet of movement to back up.
All right, so
Oh,
you
wait, I
immediately-
almost forgot. I forgot the bardic inspiration thing. I said I used that as well, but
Well,
I don't know what that does.
They rolled a save. It's only when you roll a d20.
Yeah,
I think.
it's when you roll a d20. So you don't
Oh.
you can say that you want to use it, but there's nothing that you could do here that would affect it. So technically, you could you still have it. It doesn't really apply here. So if you wanted to make an attack, like say you did a firebolt, you could add I believe it's a D8 with Collide, or is that no? You're level 5, so it'd still be a
Yeah.
D6, I think.
I think it's a d6 as well. Let
I'm
me
pretty.
double check.
I think I have a D8.
So then you would add a D8
Oh, yeah,
like Niram would.
It just upgraded to d8 for every level 5 bard.
All right, so it is D8 then. So
Alright,
you would
then
add that to a ranged spell attack, or even any attack that you would like to do.
Alright, that's noted.
All right. So with that, does that end your turn, Volus?
It does.
All right, Clyde, your turn again. What are you doing as you suddenly hear the sound of rushing water, turn around and see a giant wave of water just immediately rupture the earth and splash into nothingness as the arcane magics pull it back into the ground?
How many times can I cast bardic
I
inspiration?
believe you have 4 uses?
We're gonna cast it again, and once more we're gonna you know what? We're gonna cast it on Rowan this time.
Okay. You cast it on Rowan. What do you tell Rowan?
Your mum gay.
You say that to him and he just looks around at you and really?
That's more like a vicious mockery thing.
And as that happens, he just looks at you. He doesn't know why he feels inspired, but he'll take it.
I know
Well,
why.
no,
It's
here's
pure
the thing.
spite.
Well, no, here's the thing. The reason he should feel inspired is because he just did a vicious mockery on the one dude. That's why he should
We'll
feel
take it. We'll
inspired.
take it. All right.
Because
So-
he's a better bard.
All right. So, Clyde, that is your bonus action. What do you want to do for your action? You have spells to cast.
Or get a crossbow and shoot somebody.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a crossbow, do I? I don't think I do.
Pretty sure most, even bards.
You do have a rapier, I believe.
Yeah.
You also have, since you're a bard, you can choose what spells you have. You have all the second level spells, a couple of third level
Um,
spells. You have cantrips.
I
you
have detect thoughts, heal wound, cure wound, and feather falling. I also
Okay, so
have
you're a
charm
healing bard.
person.
So you're a healing bard. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you could use your action to vicious mockery somebody for a cantrip.
Wait, what do I have for my cantrips? I never put down my cantrips. Oh
Well, then
wait,
we
yes
could-
I did. Vicious
did?
mockery.
Yeah.
All right, which one is nearest to me?
Nearest to you would be number 2, the one that just keeps on getting berated and
Mhm.
belittled.
Oh. Yeah, and no,
The poor guy.
we're gonna go to number 2, and we're just gonna be like, "Oi, your mum gay."
All right.
Yes,
I
your mom
guess.
gay. I am inspired. Your mom gay, you son of a.
It's all in the
out of pure
intonation.
spite, out of pure spite, Rowan accepts it. But then, as you turn over towards the Fae and recite these ancient words of roast, you see this person, this Fae, just looks at you and snarls. Go ahead and roll me. I believe it's your D4 plus your spell casting, or plus your charisma modifier, I believe.
Well, my charisma is maxed out, so it would be a 5. 10.
All right. Well, that certainly doesn't. So as you
You're gonna cause this thing to kill itself. I'm sorry.
as you pull this thing out, they don't actually take half damage from psychic damage. So that's actually just enough to fucking kill it.
Oh my god!
You put, and as it snarls at you, you point your finger at your mother is gay.
Wait, no, hold on. I want to change it from your mum gay to go sniff glue.
Is glue even invented at this timeline?
Yes.
Okay. I was about
You
to
put
say.
it down and say, not only is your mother gay, you sniff glue. And you just see, for whatever reason, this attacks it on such an emotional level that you just watch as the life fades out of this creature from just the non-existent will to live.
They went to rehab, Clyde. How could you?
You send this thing to the morgue and you didn't even hurt it.
It was struggling. You don't pick on someone's
that's
personal
the first
problems.
creature out of the way as you guys listen to the sound of beration and bullying, and Clyde has now officially killed someone with bullying.
Bullying gets results.
As for people watching the
Fucking
stream, do
Jesus
not do
Christ.
bullying. This is what happens.
We do not condone it in any way, but it happens. Anyway, so Clyde, does that end your turn? Because it's your bonus action and your action.
I believe it does.
All right, Zoram, you're up again.
Like, I mean, bullying has gotten results. We see that so far right now. How far is this Fae here?
That would
phase
be
3.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Just about 30 feet from you.
Okay, so it's in range. Seeing that it is now a wet Fae, I am going to cast.
Whenever you use the term wet and fey together, please do not say it like that.
What?
Just because you're not a bard doesn't mean you could say things like that.
It went through a tidal wave. It's soaked.
Right.
Tasty.
Look, at least he said wet fan, not something else.
He just called it soaked! This man's has the vocabulary of 50 Shades of Grey!
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh my.
I want to
giving him
say something,
shit.
but at
I'm
the
giving
same
him shit.
time, I don't
I'm
want
giving him shit. Soren, what are you doing?
Well, seeing that it is now covered in water, I am going to use frostbite.
All right, so you immediately whip your hand out and casting frostbite on. I believe it's a con save, correct?
That is a Constitution saving throw.
All right, these things don't.
I'm trying to use
That
its
is
condition against
a
it.
15.
It does not save.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
That is 2d6 cold damage. So let me just pull out a d6, a Monopoly die. Out of all things to struggle grabbing, it's a Monopoly die. Okay, so that is. I don't add my I don't add
No,
my
it is
modifiers.
just a
straight
dice.
roll, right? Yeah.
Just a straight roll.
That is 11 points of cold damage.
All right, so immediately as your hand comes out and this ray of frost just permeates out, and it's almost like a cold breath that comes out of your hand in a wave as it surges towards it and starts coalescing around the muscles and the other bits and pieces of exposed flesh. You actually start seeing as it starts freezing somewhat, and as the ice overtakes it, it cracks over and falls off. It does look like it did damage, however, it didn't do as much as you would hope.
I was trying to use the fact that it was like wet.
It wasn't submerged in water. Though something is technically it would be allowed with the rule of cool, but at the moment there just isn't enough water there for that to happen.
Okay.
Like they're just because and this thing doesn't have any clothes on either. It's covered in moss and bits and pieces of it. It is not. There's not enough water attached to it to freeze it with a simple spell like that.
Man's trying to freeze moist wood, essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
Tasty.
Moist.
All right. So
Moist.
with that,
Stop saying moist. You'll get demonetized.
all right,
As if we
so,
actually got money out of
moist.
this.
So Zoram, does that end your turn?
That does.
All right, ending your turn, we then have our other fey creature. Gonna look around, he sees what's going on, and you know what? Since his last spell failed, he's gonna go ahead and magic missile. He's gonna shoot fey number 1. Just so he doesn't fuck this one up. I still roll minimum fucking damage. So that is 2, 4, 6. That is 6 points of force damage that just immediately blast across the skin and flesh. And even though the magic doesn't have much damage to it, it is still affecting it. All right, so Niram, you see the one in front of you is getting attacked. Everybody else, the ones around you, are still getting attacked and are still dealing with you. So, ending his turn, we then have the rest of our creatures. So, Niram, as you are closing into it, it is actually going to go ahead and burn a 3rd level spell here. And it's going to go ahead and cast. You know what? Yeah, it'll cast Magic Missile at 3rd level. So 5, 8. That is 12. That is 19 points of force damage. As the 4 bolts of pretty much pure force energy just immediately ricochet off of your armor, and you feel it just pulsing across. It feels like somebody just jammed you with a sucker punch over and over again, but you're still going forward.
Yep.
All right. So the other one, Fey number 2, is dead, so there's not much they can do. The other one has the Fey number 3 has just gotten submerged in water and frozen. It's not very happy. It's going to whip its hand around. It's going to burn a 2nd level spell slot, and it's going to cast Scorching Ray. It's going to send 2 at you, Volus, and it's going to send 1 at Zorm.
Can I use counterspell?
You can. And then another Fae is going to counterspell you.
Oh my god. I see we're getting into fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! In this. Let me counter your counter.
I see you've activated my trap card.
You've activated my counter.
Tasty.
So as you send it out, and you are casting it at a 3rd level, yes?
Yeah.
So you cast your counter spell. As his spell rips out, you see it fizzles for a moment, and then you feel your own counter spell just halts in midair like you choke on the last word, and you see as another Fae is currently pointing at you, whispering small snarling words in some magical language. And you watch the scorching rays just rip across. Alright. So the 2 on you, that is a 17 to hit.
It hits.
A 12 to hit.
No.
And then on Zoram, that is a 17 to hit. Zoram.
I just realized. Hold up.
Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll up to my AC. Yeah, that definitely hits.
All right. So for you, Volus, you take 9 points of fire damage from the first bolt that strikes you as the second one just scores across, and you manage to get yourself out of the way as it whips itself through the air. Zoram, as you are currently there and you turn over your shoulder and looking from as you're reloading, or as your crossbow is reloading for you, you whip by and look and just see as this fey creature is looking at you as its hands extended, and in a slow motion you watch as a bolt of fire just immediately comes across and strikes you in the face. Apparently it does. You take 12. 6 and 6 is 12. Take 12 points of fire damage. It just splashes right across your face. All right, so that ends that one. Fae number 4 is going after it just used its reaction to cast Counterspell. It's going to go ahead and burn a second spell as well, and it's going to go ahead and cast Melf's Magic Arrow at you, Volus. I believe that is a dex save. Let me just make sure. Come on, don't fail me now. Fuck's sake. Range spell attack. Never mind. Disregard. Oh, that's a 25 to hit.
Yes,
I think that misses. I think that misses. You take. Oh, I'm really rolling really fucking low there. You take. You take 5 points of acid damage, and then at the end of your next turn, you will take an additional 5 points of acid damage.
Go.
All right. So, with that, we have our last Fey creature who's actually going to go ahead and it's not too happy about what Zorm is doing, but it also seems very upset that Clyde killed one of its friends. It's going to go ahead and cast. Hey, you know what? It's just going to go ahead and magic missile Clyde in the back.
Can I attempt to dodge?
Sadly, not. That's not how magic missile works. So
Mhm.
that's 3, 8. You take 10 points of force damage as suddenly you hear screeching through the air behind you vibrant pieces of energy that just sink into your flesh, and you turn over and watch as they detonate across the padded leather of your armor, and it hurts as it feels like somebody just punched you, and you're not as hardy as Niram, so it feels like something just ran you over.
Ah!
Yeah. All right,
Hear
so
Clyde in the background just scream.
yeah, Clyde is not happy right now. All right, so ending their turn, we then have Niram. Niram, you're up. What are you doing?
I'm gonna feed into the classic barbarian's urge to fucking rage. And
Fucking rage!
Just run up to the Fae in front of me and start slashing. 2 attacks,
so
both
as you-
reckless.
Yeah, as you immediately grip your axe and your eyes come over through, and the just red sheen of hatred that comes over, you see as it's been casting spells about, and just as it turns over towards you, you see it bring its hands up in almost like a judo-like pose. And as you come over, you just bring it down. Go
Yep.
ahead and make me your 2 attacks.
Okay, the attacks are with a serrated
Advantage.
greatsword. Yep.
Oh, great sword. Apologies.
Don't
I
worry
keep
about it.
forgetting.
Yeah. It's actually become my new main weapon for now. So yeah, let's see. Reckless attack, don't fuck me. Wow. Yeah, it's a 9. With advantage, mind you. Rolled a 2 and a 3.
I'm sorry, that's just sad. So, Niram, as this sheen of rage comes over your eyes, you rush up towards it and bring your sword down, and it actually, you see as its hand hits the flat of your blade with its palm, and your sword goes over its shoulder and sinks into the ground with a ping as it runs into a rock.
Don't
And
worry,
you pull it out of the ground.
that's what the upswing is for.
Yep. Go ahead and make me your second attack.
Oh, you have to be shitting me!
Oh no.
First I rolled a 2 and a 3. Now I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Two's
These-
better than 1.
Yeah,
So
2 is
on
better
your
than 1.
backswing,
That's an 8.
as you-
These dice
as you
are
run
fucking
up,
cursed.
You
Fuck
might
these
want to
two.
change your dice out. Change your dice out.
Fucking
As this
shit
happens,
out.
you rush up to it. Your first swing goes wide as it palms your strike out of the way. The second one, as you bring up the palm string, just as it actually doesn't even move. It just stands there and watches as your blade swings up, almost like a Monty Python skit. And it just stands there and looks at you, and even it looks at you concerned, like it says something in Sylvan that you don't understand, but then it
And
just
I
goes
hear-
back to a
I'm-
judo pose.
I'm mad. You know what? Fuck this. That's the end of my turn. I'm just gonna stand in front of it.
Or you just stand in front of it, seething in rage as your weapon
Yeah,
just
fucking
missed
seething and
twice.
coping and malding.
All
at this
right, yeah.
point.
So
It just mutters cope and seethe
Uh,
in your neck.
That's a little bit too
So-
much rage.
well, actually, if you wanted to, you could roll. You have bardic inspiration. You have
Oh
a D8.
right, yeah. I'm fucking stupid. Let's see. Well, I
You
mean,
could
it
add
doesn't
that
really.
to your 9. You could add it to your
Yeah,
9. You
okay,
might
let's
be able
see.
to make it.
Let's see. Well, okay, that's a 7. That makes it go up to 16.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Hey! Thank God for bardic inspiration.
May looks concerned.
Never thought
tries
I'd
to go
hear
back
That
that
and
is
until-
pose. It's just like
9 plus
right?
3, plus another 2 because of rage. That goes up to 14 damage.
So as you bring your sword across the first time, you picture in your head missing humiliatingly, and you feel the sword have the resistance as it hits the ground, and you sigh to yourself for a moment. And you look down and see the blade is actually covered in a thin sheen of black ichor. And you look over and see there's a deep gash mark across the chest. Doesn't look like it did much damage, but it hurt.
Yep. Okay. Thank God that you reminded me. I would have forgotten.
Rage.
I mean, worst case, I would have had it next turn. And I actually plan on doing something else next turn as well. We'll see about that. But yeah, that ends it for now.
All right, so ending Niram's turn as the first one hits and the second one misses. But ending Niram, we then have Rowan. Rowan once again is like, well, you certainly fucked that one up. Do it again! And you were inspired again.
just the disappointed dad going, do better. You're just
He'll
like,
use his
okay.
bonus action to inspire you, so you have another D8 to use if you need it.
Yep.
And then
Got
he's
it
going
already.
to actually whip around himself, and he's going to see another thing to go off of, and you know what? He's going to go ahead and... spell does he want to use here? You know what? He is actually going to go ahead and cast Silence on this creature in the back. Or on the fake creature in the back. He's going to cast Silence on it. That's going to be a resist the spell. Does not resist it. Its spells are now essentially useless. All vocal components are now useless. So it can only do somatic and material. He just completely... Wow. I'm actually going to pat myself on the back. That was actually pretty smart. Anyway. So, ending Roan's turn. Volus, top of the round. What are you doing?
it's clear that Volus looks like he's about to black out, but he looks at this fake creature, and you know what? I'm going to cast Scorching Ray and use 2 of my sorcery points to make it a bonus action.
You know what? Sure, go ahead. So you're gonna do Scorching Ray,
Yep.
and you know what? No, you're not, because it's gonna be counterspelled.
All right.
So that's another burn spell from that. Say actually, you know what? Fey number 1's gonna do that. Actually, no, they wouldn't be in range. Yeah, Fey 3 would have to burn that spell. So you are counterspelled, sir.
And then I'm going to use another sorcery point to twin spell
Okay.
Firebolt. And I'm using Bardic Inspiration on the first one.
Go for it.
It's a is it a 1d8 for a additional roll or like to add to it?
All right. So
Or is it to damage?
no, it's to hit. So
Okay.
whatever you roll that D8 and add that to your roll. So say you roll a 10 and you get an 8 on the D8, you add the 8 to it and becomes 18.
Well, I don't think it matters for the first one because I got a natural 20 on the first
Okay.
bolt.
So that hits.
I guess I'll use the inspiration on the second one. And smart too because I got a 10, so I'm gonna roll the d8. That is a 7, so 17.
All right. So both 2 hit, and
The
you're just
fir-
rolling damage there.
The first one is going to pay 3. The second one's going to pay 4.
Okay.
Uh, are we doing the card thing for the? Nah, never mind.
Well,
Let's see.
Here's the rule here. If you want to draw cards, that means they can use cards. And that means once we start doing natural ones, that means we're also going to start pulling up the fuck up cards too. Or you can go for the usual and just do the usual double damage. Or when you roll a natural one, I come up with something that happens, which is going to be a whole lot less worse than what the cards will do for you. What do you want to do? Do you want to draw a card? Or do you want to go double or nothing?
Yeah, I'm gonna do.
Double or nothing.
Fine, I'll do double or nothing.
All right, double or nothing. So go ahead and double your damage for the second one, or for the first one. I won't draw a card for you. So, how much damage you do on the first bolt?
I got a 19 for normal damage, so double that. It's 38.
Jesus
so
Christ.
38 halved again because it does have resistance. So still 19. But the first bolt actually, as it comes across and smacks it right in the chest, you watch as it scorches through the flesh, and you hear this as it just screeches, this almost unearthly howl as it just immediately fucking turns to ash. It seems the blackened ichor that pretty much amalgamates its blood is very flammable.
And for the second one, it has gotten a 17. So
All right, 17 to hit. Yes, that hits.
yeah. Let me roll damage. It is a 16, so it will take 8 damage
All right.
for Phase 4.
And that is number 4, so that is... yep, you already have that, yeah? So 8 damage?
Yep.
Thank you.
And I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then drop because 5 HP, it takes me out.
I mean, I wasn't going to say that you were going to die. I was just going to say, I mean, if you want, I can cast a spell at you, but like...
No, no, the acid damage is what took me out. Because
I know, I was making a joke. It's like, I could cast a spell at you, but I don't need to anyway. All right, so, Fullis, does that end your turn?
Yes.
All right, Clyde, you're up. You turn around and look over and see as Volus once again turns into a spinning blade, pretty much Beyblade of fire. This just
Mhm.
starts sending out firebolts left and right. And just as he turns to run, you start seeing as a sizzle of acid burns over his shoulder, almost like a sentient goo. And you watch as it boils over his shoulder, and it pains him enough that it sends a shock of unconsciousness through his body. And you watch as he topples to the ground.
Oh. Shit.
Do you want to run over, try and give a little bit of healing?
Yeah, we're gonna dash over, and then
I
we're
wouldn't say
going.
dash. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can make it there on 30 feet of movement, and you could cast
Mhm.
Cure Wounds on him.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
What level spell are you using for it?
I have Cure Wounds down as a level.
No, you can upcast it.
Oh, we'll make it a level 2.
A level 2? All right. All right, let's see. This will be 1d8 and add an additional d8 for your. So 2d8 plus your spell casting ability modifier. So that means your charisma.
All right. Sorry, just gotta get out the
No, that's all right.
D8. Nope, that's a percentage dice. That's a D4. That's a D6.
You call yourself the mom of the group, and yet you don't even have your dice ready.
I never called myself the mom of the group.
Sorry, the healer.
All right,
You call
well,
yourself the healer, and you
first-
don't even have your healing dice.
What makes you expect that healers are always prepared?
I mean, I'm used to clerics being Johnny on the spot because people don't like being unconscious.
Why
All
do you
right.
think-
First dice roll was a 2.
All right, so 2
Uh,
plus.
3, so 5 plus 5 is 10.
So that is. Wait, you rolled a 2 and a 3?
Yeah.
You rolled really shitty on that. So Viantis, you are now conscious, and you are at 10 hit points. As suddenly as Clyde rushes over to you, digging in. Clyde, you bring out your French horn and you say, "All right, motherfucker, breathe!" And you just blow some smooth jazz into his ear. And suddenly you watch as this music flows into him. And for a moment, it's almost like in Avengers when Tony Stark, nobody kissed me, right?
Clyde just walks up to Valis and goes, "The power of Miles Davis compels you."
Essentially, yeah.
Listen,
Alright.
the only way to wake up Volus is with fucking smooth jazz, okay? Clyde has a trumpet, he can make do with that.
All right, so Clyde, does that end your turn? That is your movement and your action. You could use your bonus action to inspire somebody else. No, Volus is still prone.
We're gonna try and help Volus get up, and that'll be
All right, so you use your
that.
bonus action to just assist him to do that. All right.
Yeah.
Not exactly going to do anything, but it helps. All right, so Zoram, what you doing?
Zoram is going to turn around because he is angry at whoever just threw a bolt at him,
Okay.
and he's gonna see Faye number 4, and he's gonna start walking towards him. And
As you start walking towards him, you hear in Sylvan. Do you speak Sylvan?
I do not speak Sylvan.
Can I
Okay.
hear it?
Yeah, you hear, "Oh, so a puny mortal is approaching me?" And he starts walking over towards you as well. If you want to make it a JoJo reference, you see him strike a pose.
I wasn't.
Oh, now people are gonna try to make art of that. Just a dragonborn and a fey creature,
But-
just JoJo walking towards each other. My God.
If somebody could make that, I would fucking pay them.
You
So,
fate great.
I will pay somebody to do that.
So Zoram will
But
get
as
to
you
about-
start walking over towards it, it starts walking towards you, and it definitely looks confident in its abilities.
So Zoram's gonna get to about here, and
Mhm.
his his mouth will start like giving off electricity, and he's going to use his breath attack on this fey creature.
All
Like,
right, I believe
he's
that
just
is
gonna
a.
reel back
All right,
his
so
throat.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You'd be you could get there and be able to be in range.
He only needs to be within 30 feet
So
because
5, 10,
it's
20,
it's
25.
a so yeah, he's
Yeah,
good.
that would be
Jesus.
the longest range you could do.
Yeah.
All right, so as you walk over towards it, the vibrant electricity that zaps around you in an aura of a stand, as you come over and whip your head around and bring it over, is just, and you watch as this thunderclap of sound immediately resonates through the woods in a straight line. Go ahead and roll me your damage, and it is a dex save or a con save.
It is a dexterity save.
Okay, dex save, something they're good at. Say that, roll an 8. That is a 14.
I do not believe that saves. Because I think it goes off of your spellcasting mod.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so it doesn't save.
All right. So go ahead and roll me your damage.
Just in the middle of doing that. Ooh.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
That is max damage. That is 12 points of lightning damage.
Yeah.
I don't think that
Ye-
counts as magical.
You go over and whip your head across, and as it cracks through the air, the immediate smell of burning ozone that immediately just follows in a flash of energy that immediately brightens the sky. As it goes over and punches right into the torso of this fey creature, you watch as it brings its hands up for a moment and it manages to resist some of the spell's damage, but not all of it.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, and that was 16 damage, you said?
That is 12 points of lightning damage.
12. Okay.
Because
It's starting to look hurt. Like as the electricity jumps off of it, you actually start seeing some of the veins are rupturing on its arms and neck. It's starting to look real hurt.
That's the only thing that I'm really sad about with the Dragonborn breath weapons is that they don't level up with your character.
Yeah, they don't really scale.
Yeah, but it's still a nice little fuck you to whenever somebody's like trying to fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And
So
yeah, that counts as an action to do. So I think that's all I
Alright.
can do.
So ending Zorm's turn, if it does.
Yeah, he's angry.
All right. So with that, we then have our other guy, and you know what? He's upset because his spells are coming out lackadaisically. He can't do shit. He's gonna go ahead and burn another second spell slot, and actually no. You know what? He's gonna burn a first one, and he's gonna cast. You know what? No, you know what? He'll just do Scorching Ray again. He's going to send 1 at 4 and 2 at 5. That hits. That hits. And that misses. So 2 hits, 1 miss. So the first one immediately just rockets out from his fingers, just spewing fire and brimstone. It smothers him. About 5 points, half 3. So that becomes that. And as the other 2 immediately ricochet their way out, you see as Fae number 5 takes the first one right into the chest as it burns a hole through its chest, almost revealing the bone underneath the pec. And you see as more of this black, viscous mucus just starts drooling out of it. And it manages to just step out of the way as the third bolt ricochets past it, whipping and ripping through the air. All right, so. Ooh, very nice. That's 11 to 6. So, with that, ending his turn is then going to be our creatures. All right, so with that, Niram, as you're currently slicing and dicing in front of it, your first one hitting and your second one missing, it's going to go ahead and cast Shocking Grasp. It's going to reach out and try and touch you.
Oh, great. Stranger danger. It does
That
get
is
advantage
a
on that,
s-
though. Don't
It is a
forget.
16 to hit.
That barely hits.
Okay. So, as it reaches out trying to touch you, You see as its hand starts sparking with the same electricity that seems to spark out of the mouth of Zoram whenever he gets really upset. And you take... That's really low fucking damage. You take 9 points of lightning damage. And I
That-
believe that's halved if
Yep.
you're raging.
No,
Yep.
that's just half because I'm a blue dragonborn.
Oh, that's right, you are.
So yeah, that goes down
Because
to
of lightning.
36. Well, it goes down from 9 to 4 for me, or 5 if we round up.
No. I round down for you guys when you take damage and round up for you guys when you deal damage.
All right.
That's the way I do it. It's the way I've always
Yep.
done it. It's because I'm a generous god.
Fair enough.
All right. So, with that, that ends that one's turn because it reached out and just touched you. The other two are now dead. 2 and 3 are dead. That leaves 1, 4, and 5. 4 is going to look over. It sees Clyde picking people up. It also sees the other Fey creature. It really doesn't seem to care about the other one. But seeing you, Clyde, and the way you just revived them, it's going to go ahead and cast Magic Missile. And it's going
Oh.
to actually burn a 2nd level spell slot for that. So it's going to get 4 missiles. So, Clyde, you take... You take 9 points of force damage.
Ouch. Okay.
As these 3 missiles immediately, you hear the familiar screeching through the air, and you turn about and see these now 4 vibrant bulbs of white pulsing light that immediately rupture into your chest. And once again, it feels like someone's kicking you in the chest with horse hooves.
Oh, you just hear Clyde like go down. Like he's knocked on his ass.
It doesn't knock you to 0, does it?
No.
Okay, good.
But it does
Alright.
like knock him down on his butt because of the sheer force.
All right. So, with that, we then have the last one here. Now, Fey number 5 is actually going to step up, and he's going to go ahead and cast...
Hmm.
5th one's actually going to go ahead and use his first 2nd level spell slot, and he's going to go ahead and cast Scorching Ray. And he's going to send 1 to each of you. So that's 1 to Rowan, 1 to Zoram, 1 to the Fey creature. That is a 16 that hits Rowan. Zoram, that... Oh, Jesus. That's a 26.
That definitely hits.
Yeah, that's a 19 plus 7. And then on the Fey creature, that also hits. So, starting with Rowan. Rowan takes 7 points of fire damage. Zoram, you take 9 points of fire damage. And then your Fey friend over there takes 7 points as well. As each of you see this scorching ray of napalm just immediately scratch into your flesh, and you feel it like something is crawling into your scales and flesh as it is burning away at the top layer of skin. All right, so that actually ends their turn. Niram, you're up. What are you doing?
Well, since I'm standing there, let's get the attacks out of the way.
Go for it.
Reckless again.
All right.
That's a lot better. That's a 16. I'll take
16 hits. Roll some damage.
that. All right. Oh, that's a lot better. That's 17 damage on the first hit.
17. Very nice. Go ahead and make your second attack.
Yep. See? That's a 21.
21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll some
And let's
damage.
see. That one's a total of 16.
16.
So a
That's
combined
just
30.
That's just enough to do it. With all the half damage, that last strike's just enough to kill it. So you bring the sword down once and scar across its chest. As you whip it back, you see as an opening comes up as its hands come up and try and cover its wound, and you just pull your sword forward and skewer it. and you watch as it immediately meets resistance from the tip, and after that you push with a little bit more weight, and the blade just slides right through the rest of the body, and you hear this.
Oh, the serrations must hurt.
That just you watch as it just starts crumpling over the blade, and the eyes go a dull white as the black ichor just starts draining from its face, and you whip the sword out and you watch as it falls to its knees and then falls onto its back with a large gaping hole in its center of mass.
All right.
So
my
what would you like to do for movement?
Well, first I would like to use my bonus action and
Mhm.
draw upon those evil necrotic energies to heal myself.
Okay, go for it.
Let's see. 8 plus another 3 for con. I recover a total of 11 HP.
Those of you paying attention, which are none of you, thankfully, Niram, you don't know why, but as you feel this desire, you look into your hand and you ask for healing. And as you squander into your hand and press your fingers into that blackened spot, you have a sudden hunger for whatever blood this thing has. You go over and look at your blade, and you run your tongue just along the edge, and you taste the bitter sweetness of whatever mucus, viscous liquid this blood is.
Oh, so he's a vampire now.
Not exactly. But as you taste it, it feels rejuvenating. It feels like you're sapping the strength from whatever creature this used to be and bringing it into yourself.
Yep, and after that, I would like to use my 50 feet of movement to try and walk up to the rest of my compatriots.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I believe you have
No,
40 feet.
Yeah, 40 feet, sorry. 50 feet
Yeah,
is
40
later.
feet would just put you there. Yep, I'll just put you there and say you know where you are. All right. So these guys do not have morale, so they don't need to make a morale check. Now, after you do that, Niram, it's up to Rowan. Rowan just got smacked in the face with fire. And you know what? He's not too happy about that. He is going to go ahead and look over towards the creature. And he's going to bring his hands together, rub them, crack his knuckles. And he's actually, for the first time, you guys hear him sing a little bit. And as he sings this very vibrant, jovial tune, at the very crescendo of it, you hear him, "And fuck you!" as you watch as a sudden burst of energy just starts crackling in front of where this creature is, and you watch as a pretty much explosion of thunderous energy just erupts in front of him, or in front of this fey creature here. And that is a dex save, as that he is casting Shatter. All right. So with that, con save fails the con save, and that is 3d8 thunder damage. That is 8, 12, 19 points of thunder damage. Have to 8. Ooh, yeah, he's not looking. Creature's looking really rough. More of its veins are starting to rupture. It's starting to trickle black, viscous liquid out of its mouth. And while looking unconcerned, it's looking very hurt. Both of them are, in fact. So, with that, I will go ahead and say top of the round, we then have Vullis. Vullis, you are conscious, on the ground, and in a shitload of pain.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna use my. Does it take an action or all my movement to get back up?
It takes half of your movement.
Okay, that's fine. I need to do some measuring or some numbers. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 5, 6, 5, 77, 5, 80, 85, 90. Okay, well, I'm gonna use my last sorcery point to dual cast Firebolt.
You know what? Just to say fuck you, no you aren't. He's going to spend his last 3rd level spell, and he's going to counterspell you.
Fair enough. I also have a question. would it take an action or a bonus action to take a potion?
Potions taking on yourself is a bonus action.
Okay. Welp, time to use one of my potions of greater healing.
All right, so you immediately whip that bitch out and pull the cork out and put it to your lips and start chugging.
Glug glug glug.
I need to check what a potion of greater healing does.
God, I need
That
to
would
prepare
be
some
greater
thoughts.
healing is 4d4 plus 4.
4d4 plus 4. Okay. 1, 2,
Yeah,
3.
because a normal potion of healing does 2d4 plus 2, and then a minor potion of healing does 1d4 plus 1. And minor potions are a lot more common than healing and or greater potions. So
Yep.
14 plus 4, so 16.
you heal 16 points.
At some point, I should actually prepare potion-like drinks for these
I
sessions.
think I gave everyone here a potion, except for like the only person I didn't give it to was the Fey creature.
I mean, yeah, we only met them last time.
Yeah, so
And they're just leading you. They're acting as a guide.
Yeah.
A very nice guide, but a guide
Hey.
nonetheless.
yeah.
All right. So with that, does that end your turn, Volus?
Yeah, I was thinking about moving the with my last 15 feet, but actually not to avoid in case this to say something for fuck you. I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15 over here.
Brave Sir Robin bravely turned his tail and fled. All right. So, ending your turn, Volus. We then have Clyde. Clyde, what are you doing?
Which was the last one that's left?
There are 2 left. You have 4 and 5.
Okay, we're gonna look for dead in the eyes and say your mum gay with vicious mockery.
All right. Wisdom save. Fails with a 10.
So I roll a d6, right?
See, and their wisdom is their best. Their wisdom and intelligence are their best fucking stats, and I keep failing wisdom and intelligence saves.
You want to know
Okay,
why?
there's
They just
probably-
can't wrap their head around homophobia.
Guess what I just got?
What did you
Oh
get?
my god.
I got a 6
Oh
6.
my god.
plus
You
the
point-
5.
You point your finger out, and once again, you rapture out these words, and just as your finger curls around the tongue, you see as this creature just looks at you, and the look it gives you is so heartbreaking. It's like you just kicked a puppy.
Oh,
Oh my god.
And you just watch as this creature takes a step back and another one and dies from sheer emotional damage.
Oh my god, not again!
Oh god.
It appears Clyde is the very essence of bullying gets shit done.
Oh my god.
Bullying gets results.
Clyde decided that today,
They
people.
don't take damage from psychic damage.
Yeah. Today, people need to figure out that their mums are gay.
Right. Does that end your turn, Clyde?
we're gonna look at the last one, and we're also wait. Can I cast? How many times can I cast vicious mockery?
It's
Once. It is an
yeah.
action.
Okay. Can I use it as a bonus action?
No.
No.
Vicious mockery is not a bonus action. It is an
Okay, we're just
action.
gonna try to intimidate the last one,
That would be an
stare
action
him
as well.
down. Oh damn. Okay, then I rescind my turn.
Like we say, bullying gets
Emotional
results.
damage.
It shouldn't, though.
It gets results.
You say that, Behemoth, and yet you've killed 2 people with bullying.
Yes, I've killed them in honorable combat!
You did. Clyde didn't.
Yeah, I know!
Right.
That's the issue! He's getting more results by bullying! And I feel that's just not right.
Right. Clyde, is that end your turn?
Yes, it does.
All right, ending your turn. Zoram, you're
And
up.
you know what? I'm allowed to bully them. I'm getting work done. Leave me alone.
You're just like, you're evil, you deserve to be bullied.
You see, Hope is a very nice person. This is the only time she could actually be mean.
Yeah, and even then, I don't think these insults are that bad.
Question here.
I mean, they're enough to kill somebody.
Question.
Yeah, after they've gotten
Yes, sir.
serious damage dealt to
Um,
them.
Are there any significantly big rocks around.
Oh my god, you're
Uh,
going for that again? Really?
Looking around, I mean, you're in a forest, dude. There are plenty of rocks.
He wants to find one in the shape of a frying pan.
PUBG, anybody?
Oh my god.
I feel like that would be them.
I was just wanting one that I could just cast catapult on.
You catapult the frying pan at a fake creature.
I just want to cast catapult on one and launch it at this dude. But that's also a dex save, so he'd probably like survive that shit.
What do
You know
want to do?
what? Screw it. I'm just gonna go with the normal frostbite because it works.
Right.
Kind of.
That is a con save.
Yeah, it's a con save.
That is an 18.
That definitely saves, so he doesn't take any damage. I
Yeah,
don't
you
think.
send it out, and you just watch as it brings its hand over, and you watch as it wafts through the aura of magic that you have sent towards it, and the magic just dispels effortlessly.
Well, that sucks. It's not like I have two attack. It's not like I'm missing out on a extra attack whenever I do this. So
No, not at all. Never. Extra attack, who?
artificers don't get an extra attack.
Yeah, extra attack, who? What? Sorry?
Yeah.
Those
But
exist.
does that end your
those
turn, Zoran?
exist. Yeah, that ends my turn because
I'm just gonna go.
It's gonna be his turn. He's gonna burn his last first level spell slot, and he's just gonna fire a magic missile at it.
All his friends are dead.
All my friends are dead. Oh no, wait, that's copyrighted. Fuck.
So you watch as these 3 missiles just detonate across its torso, and it's still standing there. Its arm is sinking off to the side. It's panting heavily. It's bleeding from multiple places on its body. It looks bruised. It looks battered, and it looks nearly dead. And it's just standing there. And it's still putting up a fight. And after that, it's going to be the creature's turn once again. Creature is going to go ahead and, for its last ditch effort, it has 1 third level spell.
Wait, oh no.
It has 1 third level spell slot left. All right. See if this works. 1 sec. I need to check my notes. All right. Yep, he's going to cast Scorching Ray at 3rd level.
Oh boy.
So that is going to be 1 at actually, no, you know what? It's going to be 1 at Zoram, 1 at the Fey creature, 1 at Clyde, and 1 at Volus.
Wow, I'm doing a horrible job as a tank.
It's because you're behind everybody.
Yes, it's almost
Sorry.
like you position an enemy exactly behind everyone.
Yeah, it is.
Sorcerer's tanking
All right,
more
so
than
on Rowan, misses. On Zoram, that is a 18. Zoram. If you don't say no, I'm just going to roll damage and say you take it. Well, he didn't say no. So Zoram takes 9 points of fire damage. Then Clyde, that misses Clyde. Bolt goes wide and Clyde dances out of the way. And then on you, Volus. No, misses as well. That is a 10. Wow, really fucked that one up. Whiffed a 3rd level spell.
Welcome to
Missed
my
3
life.
of 4.
Imagine having a 3rd level spell.
Imagine having
Couldn't relate.
spells.
Well, technically you do. You have your breath.
That's not
No,
magic.
All right. So
That's not magic.
ending its turn, we then have Nero. Nero, what are you doing?
Can I walk up to it in 40 feet of movement
That gets you 40 feet, and you could throw your sword at it or an axe.
What do I? To be fair, if I threw my axe, it would probably be more effective than actually trying to hit with it. But no,
You
at that
want to
point,
throw
I'm
your
just
axe?
gonna stand there and do my breath attack as well.
All right. So that's a deck save.
Yep. Let me check the DC.
You're approaching me.
That's a DC 14.
Yeah, that is. Oh, that's a 13.
Wow. Okay, that hits. Lucky. And that's 3 lightning damage. Hooray!
3 lightning damage. You guys really just don't want to fucking kill this thing, do you?
Nope.
As you come over and as the lightning streaks across its torso, it looks like it's in so much fucking pain it's ready to die.
It wants to die.
Oh god, it's just a suicidal.
All right, I was about to make a joke there, but it would have been very bad. All right, so, but with that, it looks on the verge of death. Then we have Rowan.
Final hit.
Rowan's just gonna point over and be like, "You know what?
You ain't worth it.
If you
Whatever
roll,
God you pray to, I hope they show you more mercy than I do." And he's just gonna cast Shatter again. Saves, but it takes half damage. 3,
does 1 HP.
8. Oh, it's enough to kill it.
Thank
So
God.
you watch as it stands there, and Rowan puts his hands out. All right, let's finish this, shall we? Brings his hands together in a loud clap as he starts humming a small tune, and you watch as this large bolt of thunder just immediately erupts in a cloud and then breaks open with a loud explosion, and it just completely sends this fey creature flying off into the trees, and you see it break through some of the branches until it smacks into a trunk and then falls to the ground. And everything is silent.
I don't know why I have this immense feeling to imagine it just fly off like Team Rocket.
Not exactly. Not that comical.
Not yet,
One
at
can
least.
hope. One can hope.
Once we go back to Port Ivy and I get that giant ass warhammer, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, that's settled. Well, let's actually get a look at
Question.
the
Answer.
With the ones that are still kind of like there, if that makes any sense, can I like try and loot them?
All right, go ahead, make me an investigation check.
Oh god, what is my investigation again? Okay, 0. Oh, that's sad. 14.
14. There's not really much on them.
Mm-hmm.
You do find actually a couple pieces of amber, but it's not much. Like you find like 3 tokens of amber.
All right.
I want to investigate the Fey ash pile here. Just
Can I take the amber?
mainly like the flammable, or if there's any remnants of that ichor. He's just trying to investigate it.
There's plenty of it. There's plenty of it on the ground. There's plenty of it on their bodies.
Hmm. Obviously, with his gloved hand, he does try to at least see what the consistency is close to. Like, is it like close to tar, close to blood, close to water?
Like tree sap.
I knew it. They were made and filled with maple syrup.
They're fucking trees. What do you think?
I don't know.
Nope,
Have
they
you
don't
tried
look like
other
trees.
Have you tried other sap? Tastes like shit.
I don't know. I don't really eat black ichored sap.
Maybe you should.
It's a learning experience.
Fair. Kind of
Hmm.
looks at his mark a moment before just like wiping it off. The ichor. We should probably keep on going or rest up. No
And
doubt
yes,
our
Clyde, you could grab the amber.
Hell
uh,
yeah.
no doubt that our fight attracted a lot of attention. So we should probably move and at least rest up.
What makes you think we got the attention of other things?
His arm like casually just kind of
Granted
swallows
that there
down and
was a
turns
lot
into
of
a lightning.
Granted that there was, let's see, a tidal wave, lightning, several beams of fire, which usually create explosions on impact. Do I need to go on, Clyde?
Yes.
Also, your weird inspirational speaks.
Hmm.
And I think also the combined music between you and our other bardic friend, any kind of motions in there. No
You
doubt
look
will
over at him. He's currently pulling out a piece of bread and chewing on it.
no doubt will attract attention
Oh
to
no,
those
it's
that are
a
more
big goblin.
curious to the sound than fearful.
It's not
So,
I think we're
it's not
fine.
a goblin.
anyways, let us either keep going or let us try to rest and recover. I know I'll have to be making more potions tonight either way. With what limited herbs we have.
Clear this out of the way. So,
Freeze.
as the field is quiet and your Fey friend actually goes over and starts kind of pecking around at some of the bodies, doesn't even poke them with his fingers or his hands. He just goes over and kind of nudges them with his foot and looks at some of them.
Mood.
And stares at him for about maybe 2-3 moments, and then turns over and starts walking away. Well, I believe if we're on our way, we have some time to make up for. Yes.
No doubt about that.
Zorm nods. On the bright side, I didn't use any of my spell slots.
Good. No doubt if we run into any more, we'll be in
Is
quite the
anyone
predicament.
hurting really bad? Like
Don't
who's hurting really bad? Because I can probably do some healing.
don't
I
forget
mean, I
about
went from like 39 HP down to 20.
what is this HP you speak of?
What is HP?
What are you on about?
I
You doing okay?
I think he's talking about like I don't know.
Just like everyone looks at
Break
Clyde
the
like,
immersion.
My immersion.
my my immersion looks at JoJo reference.
It went with it.
It worked. Okay.
I guess.
Cl- I think Clyde needs something for. I think when we get back to Port Ivy, I think we need to hire a therapist or something, speaking in even tongues that even the primordials don't know.
You guys are
Um,
freaking
Trust
me
me, I
out,
speak
man.
primordial. It wasn't
Here.
anything primordial.
uh, Clyde here, and he offers like one of the minor potions to right. Use this if we don't manage to get any rest.
Clyde nods, being like, "You got it."
Maybe we could find some herbs along the way so I could try and make more potions tonight.
You guys continue on your way. Marching your way through the woods. The black and twisted trees it's not really helping the mood of the situation. The constantly overcast clouds, not revealing any portion of the sun except for the very small blips of, well, where it's light enough that the sun actually cracks through somewhere. It's cold. Colder than it should be this time of year. And as you start heading further and further to the north, over the course of the next about 3, 4 days, actually, it takes a little while for you guys to make it there. But the further north you go, the colder it actually gets. And it's weird because you aren't going very far north. You're only going maybe about 20 miles. Granted, you're going, well, off road, cautiously, through some unknown terrain and through places that are not exactly letting you through. So, the 4 days it takes for you guys to go that 20 miles, you're going at a really slow pace. But nothing pops out at you and nothing stops you guys. You thankfully don't run into any more combat because of your guide. As you make your way through and actually around the first bend you've ever seen in the forest, that actually seems to finally curve off to the side as the wood tree line of the thick brown and green, the vibrancy of the woods slowly tapers off and enters once again into the blackened surrounded hollows of the forest. As you look to the north, you actually see as the trees look sparse up here, even the black and withered crystal ones. The ground is covered in what looks to almost be a thin layer of snow, which is very unusual. And casting your gaze about, the thin whiteness seems to highlight just the farthest parts of where you can see. And you see maybe about a day's walk away from where you were as you finally get around the forest. You look over and see what looks to be some sort of a large fort. Something dug in with large blocks of stone that look frozen over in bits and pieces of ice and frost. Long banners curled of white and red that seem to unfurl and dangle through the air that stiffly blows a cold breeze. You guys kind of have to huddle together for a little bit as you guys don't really have any warm clothing. Your cloaks do the best they can, but as you make your way through, it's prevalent just how cold it is to the north. Making your way across the frozen plains, you guys actually look by and see there are bodies covered in snow. Looking at them, they look humanoid. If any of you want to take a look at them, you can.
Can I?
How far away are they?
They're scattered about the plain. Like the
Just-
trees have given way into a plain,
Okay.
and you're like a day away from that fort.
Can I take a look?
Go for it. Make me an investigation check.
Gotcha.
Zorm will probably just assist.
Okay. Make it an advantage.
Okay, good, because I got a 2 on it initially. I got 19 plus 5, 24.
24. Looking over these bodies, there's definitely something familiar about them. You go over and dust some of the snow off. These are orc corpses, and a shitload of them. Like you look around and you see many different mounds of snow. And casting your gaze over each of them, there's scattered clumps of them, maybe about 7 or 8 apiece. And you see there's maybe about 8, 9 clumps just in what, 400 or 500 feet.
This might be a little battlefield we stumble upon. Was the orc that was dust off, was there anything notable on them, or at least something of note on the armor? Any familiar
Flipping
cast or
flipping the body over, looking at it as you actually flip him over onto his back as he was face down. The orc that you flip over is very generic looking orc. The usual taut green skin, thick and leathery like a hide. The armor it wears is corroded and rusted in places, and you see as bits and pieces of water and condensation have made it into the armor as well. But as you look over and see, you actually see that through the chainmail, you actually look and see that's not any damage to the armor. Looks like it had its face crushed in by a hammer, and a large one at that. You look through the armor, trying your best to find anything. Uh, Nothing of note from this orc. No band, no clan sigil, no banner, nothing. Its weapons are still there. You find shields, swords, bows, and arrows. You find all of their equipment is still on them. They've just been left out here to rot in the cold.
Guess guess the
What's
smartest thing
the
to
what's
do
the
would be
environment right now like?
snowing.
It's like 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So that would be just about maybe -1 Celsius.
Are there any wounds, like specific, like notable wounds?
Looking over the rest of the bodies, hammer wounds, dagger, sword, spear, javelin, arrow. There's all kinds of wounds out here. Even ones that look like they were made from some sort of magic.
Well, by the looks of this, seems like these orcs were having a fight with. He kind of looks over, like at the far off pile. Could make a guess that that's the other group, but he's like trying to pick up some of the arrows or anything that's notable on the corpses, trying to offer the arrows to Zoram for his crossbows.
Arrows don't work with crossbows.
Oh,
But
for
looking over on further investigation, the piles that you're looking at, different piles have different ages to them. You're looking at the settling of the snow, and even though it's not snowing very much, it is thicker in some places, especially over some of the further out groups. And it seems whatever orc has been trying to make their way through here, something has been coming out, killing it, and just leaving it in the field.
Question.
Answer.
Do these orcs look like they saw their death coming, or do they look like it just came out of nowhere for them?
Looking at it, make me a straight wisdom check.
Straight wisdom
um,
check.
hey, Zoram, you don't think whatever is taking these guys out is ambushing along the snow mounds, do you think?
I'm checking what my wisdom modifier is. So that is a unnatural 20.
Looking at it, no. None of these orcs, none of the dead ones have any surprise in their face. All of them look like they died either in pain or they died in the middle of or in the middle of a fight.
Not sure, but definitely should be careful whatever is out there.
Then you best watch out for especially the more thick piles of snow. Who knows what is lurking within this cold? Just brings a unease to my mind.
You actually hear a feminine giggle on the wind that blows through. and it goes on for maybe about a second, and it just washes past you as a small burst of snow blows by.
You see, like, Balls look around for a moment. Of course, he has this like visible look of a small confusion, but I guess it's in his minor paranoia that whatever that was just heard. Let's get going.
I need to roll some dice.
Always fun to hear.
Yes.
Interesting. All right. As you're coming by, Rowan stops for a moment as you're walking. All right, who's doing that? He's looking at all of you.
Doing what?
What?
Wait, where's that?
Stop touching me.
No
Feel you
one's
poking me.
touching you.
And looks over at you. Then who's touching me? Whatever it is, I don't care if you're lying to me. Just stop it.
Okay, hold on. 1 second. 1 second. I'm gonna try something here. And Zoram is going to cast Detect Magic.
Yep. There's definitely magic around here. Looking
Uh,
around, through the soft magic that your eyes have that you peer over, make me a perception check.
a perception. I'm good at those. Okay, that is 21.
Looking over at Rowan, you see his aura of magic around him, and especially some of his instruments. But looking over to the side, you see as he's leaning in and currently pointing a finger at all of you, there's something hiding behind him which seems to have an aura of conjuration magic. And it looks small, maybe about 5 foot exactly.
Zorm is going to kind of slowly approach.
Rowan looks defensive of himself, and
Zorm kind of.
you're going to try and poke me
Zorm,
again.
Zorm puts up his hand and kind of goes, 1 second. And he has like this like look like he is seeing something that he's not.
You're staring at it, and the more you stare at it, the more it actually like seems to try and get behind. So it looks more like you're going towards him.
I can see you. There's no point in hiding.
Wait,
Seems you
who are you on about?
by the looks of Zorm's eyes, he seems to have spotted a guest, to say the least, that's hidden among the snow.
And as this is going on, you aren't orcs in disguise, are you? You guys look around. There's a disembodied voice.
Clyde's
We
gonna
aren't
pipe up
orcs.
being like, why would we be?
Well, that's what an orc would say.
Nerm just kind of looks at himself, goes, I can understand the logic.
No,
So,
we
you're not
are
orcs, are you?
No, we are not orcs.
I'm assuming you're the entity that has
Zoram,
been...
as you're watching, you see as the small figure walks out from behind, staying pretty much around your group, walks itself around, and actually goes over towards Volus. And Volus, you feel something touch you on the thigh. And you feel a soft jolt of magic.
Damn, this woman's getting saucy.
It's what you could. Eh, think what you will, Clyde. Think what you will. But as they pull their hand back and you hear another kind of giggle, Well, I guess you're not orcs. And see the creature, or whatever it is, appears in front of you. You just see as whatever magic was hiding it dispels. Seemed to have been some sort of invisibility. And it stands there maybe about 5 foot. And it's relatively short compared to all of you. And it looks to be a mixture of a human and a tiefling. Or at least a halfling and a tiefling in size. You see the small horns that curl around almost in a horned crown.
And you are?
Well, I'm the looker. Well, at least one of the watchers out in the field. I'm here to make sure there aren't any orcs, and if there are orcs, well, let the people in the fort know and the clerics come out and deal with them. The tiefling, as you get more of a look at her, it's hard to look at her because she's such a pale white that she matches the snow immediately behind her.
Explains why we couldn't see her very easily.
And she had magic on her.
She
And
was
you see she
invisible at
also,
first.
yeah, she was invisible. But she also wears a cloak of white silk. And that breaks up some of her body, but you do see underneath the cloak there are bits and pieces of grayish brown leather and chain armor. And she moves really quietly for someone wearing chainmail.
Back, sorry.
All right.
Welcome back.
And she looks at all of you. But I guess you're not orcs, so you're free to roam. And she gives you a smile and waves, and you see she puts her hood up once again and turns invisible. And you see soft tracks in the snow as she walks away from you.
Hmm.
What a strange but interesting individual, to say the least.
But still be careful.
Yeah.
Good thing we're not orcs, I guess. Oh, whatever. Let's just move on.
Yeah, so he should.
The guy that you guys have just looks at it and, oh, apologies, I think I forgot to remind you of those. And he continues walking.
Those? Clyde questions like, what do you mean those?
Well, there are guards all around this place, and clerics have their own scouts and that sort of thing. So why worry about them? Besides, why remember them? Shall we?
Zone nods, kind of moving.
Now I'm just gonna take a glance at Rowan. Does he seem in any way riled up because he saw another tiefling?
He looks very defensive. He's just like staring at where she was, and then he's eyeing her footprints as she walks away. And he's like, devil.
You're still not getting over that, huh?
They have devil blood in them. What else should I do?
I don't
Alright,
know,
what
let
if
it
you had
go.
devil blood in you?
I mean,
Then I would kill myself.
I doubt it.
Wow. Okay.
And that's like saying me and Narum are actual dragons.
Well, aren't you? You are dragonborn, aren't you?
Nerv just kind of looks at him like, "You really?" Just come on, man. You need to work on your freaking acceptance. It's like, imagine if everyone called you freaking, I don't know.
Knife here.
I guess, yeah. Wow,
It's
that's
fine.
that's.
But as
mean.
long as they call me Dagger Ear, because if they're going to insult me, do it properly.
I just call you an addict.
That works too.
Anyways, let's get going.
Continues grumbling for the next 5-10 minutes about devils.
Nerv just looks at Zarm and goes, "We really need to, you know." Do you think he needs therapy?
There's no fixing that. You can't fix that.
I guess. Let's just hope he doesn't fuck us over at some point.
You can show a man a hammer, but sometimes you can't teach him to use it.
As you guys make your way over to the fort, the guide goes over and... One moment. I must do the secret knock. He goes over and...
I'm sorry, just...
Hello up there! We require assistance. It seems a bit cold out. Who's there? Someone who's cold. Why should we let you in? Because it's fucking cold.
I knew it was coming. I'm like, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say it.
It's over.
Oh my god.
Well, since you made it past all of our eyes, it seems you're not orc. Do you have any orc with you?
No, we don't. Otherwise, we'd probably be still attacked by your eyes.
Doesn't hurt to be safe. One moment. Let us open the door. Man on the top of the wall walks back around, disappears for about 20 minutes. And you hear the loud kind of a heavy metal increment being pulled across like some sort of bar or lock. The door itself is maybe about the size of a man riding horseback. So it's a pretty big door. And as it pushes its way out from the mouth of it, walking out is actually a Goliath of a woman. And she is not a Goliath by any means, but you do see she is bigger than Niram.
She like Lady Demetresque tall, or like what's going on?
She looks
here?
like she's maybe about 7'8". And she steps out and she's in full metal regalia. She's in a full set of plate armor.
So she's not as tall as Lady Demetresque. Got it.
No. She's shorter than Lady D.
We found your type, Clyde.
No. Refuse.
You see as Rowan goes over and, I think you're talking to me. You see as Rowan goes over and if he had a tie, you see him just pull it tightly and kind of like pulls his riding jacket down and goes over. You see as he puffs his chest out and he looks up at her. She looks down at him and just notions him inside. You just see as the air kind of deflates in his chest a little bit. Maybe later. And he walks his way in.
It was an attempt.
There was an attempt. Oh, that hurt. That hurt.
You can see the grin on Vol's, as he just enters. He's holding a laugh.
You guys enter through the door. You look over to the left and actually see a giant fucking warhammer. And you look at the door and you see that was probably being used as the brace for the door. That's just how large it is.
Well, I think we found what bonked those orcs earlier.
No, that's not a bonk. That's the squish.
Naren just looks at the Warhammer, remembers the one that he could have gotten in Port Ivy, and just lets out a small sigh. Just like, I need to bulk up.
Sad.
You know, it's weird that Warhammer came up twice today.
That woman closes the door and sets the warhammer. Or actually, no, this would be a great hammer. Sorry, it'd be a great hammer. Puts the great hammer up and you hear it lock itself back into place.
We have to
And
be like
she remains silent.
We have to be like the most odd-looking group.
Yeah.
Because
You do.
we have two dragonborns, two half elves, a weird. Wait, what is Volus? Is Volus a?
He's
Is Volus
just a normal high elf.
okay? I'm not
Remember,
sure.
he's not the three-tailed fox in the other one. That's
Okay.
why I say he's definitely not a furry.
And then we have this weird fey-looking creature
Who's covered in a cloak.
who's covered in a cloak.
This is
These
like
are not the
we are-
droids you are
we-
looking for.
We are a collection of races that probably shouldn't have been found together somehow.
but hey, you know what? At least there's no humans.
All right, now wait till Ryoka comes back and brings the tiefling baby with her.
Oh gosh. Oh no.
Listen, let's enjoy this moment while we can.
Wow, okay.
As you guys are there, you look over to the side and see inside the fort there are three main buildings. The first one looks like a large, squat stone structure, but it is designed much like that of a temple. As you see, even though it is designed like a bastion for defense, you see there are still very prominent displays of holy artwork, bits and pieces of stained glass, which some of you actually haven't seen before. And you also see bits and pieces of shining silver and gold that look to just shine and shimmer through the snow. Coming out to greet you, you see three other figures draped high in heavily thick robes. And you can see why they're, as you all shiver as a gust of wind comes by.
It makes me so glad that dragonborns aren't cold-blooded.
Yeah, we'd have a ton of
They're-
issues right now.
I
We-
will be right
we'd
back.
be
I need
fucking
to take
dead.
out the dog.
Well, we'll be ending here in a few moments, so
Well, I still gotta take her out. I'm sorry.
that's all right. Alright. So, one moment while I pull something up for you. Where the fuck are you? Why is it whenever I'm looking for something, it doesn't really want to show itself? Alright. Coming out to greet you looks to be a relatively somewhat experienced looking woman. Maybe in her late 40s, early 50s. She looks somewhat elven, but the features are predominantly human. As she makes her way towards you, you see the two others behind her are the same. You see entirety of women here, except the one man up on the wall. The first one to come out to greet you, she looks, as I said, relatively experienced, but you also see that underneath the cloak she wears a decent set of armor. Looks to be some sort of leather that was thrown on relatively quickly. The one beside her, less covered. You see looks to be some sort of a relatively more elven in blood. A slim physique, one that seems to curl and curve very well. She stands there with a large bow that stretches across her back. And the other one you see looks to be a relatively small woman, maybe about 5'4", taller than the one out in the field. She looks innocent until what you see is her face, hands, and everywhere that you can see of flesh is completely scarred from all manner of weapon. As these three women come out to greet you, the first one bows her head somewhat respectfully, and the other two do as well. Upon none of you doing anything, they stand.
A
Yes, sir.
pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
One in the middle speaks up first as you say this. what degree do we allow the pleasure of having yourselves here at our honored fortress?
We are. Try to remember if we had a group. Try to remember if we ever had like a group name or anything.
No, we never
Oh.
really decided on a group name.
We are just a humble band of venturers down south from Port Ivy. We've come here to seek a man who may help with the pat or at least dying lord.
There are a few men here. Perhaps we might be able to assist you. But first, why do you seek this man?
As I've said, he may have the medicine we need to heal our friend. We
We
have
have
traveled.
medicine here, as we are clerics. But
It is of a disease that even clerics shall struggle with. Believe me, we have tried asking for the clerics that were down south, and they had proven no results. Can I try to do a history check to see if I can remember if there was a name of what Lord Brokenridge had?
trying to... What exactly are you trying to do?
Remember what the symptoms or what if he ever said the disease name.
Lord Brokenridge was... You didn't actually really see him the last time you spoke with him. I mean, he looked really weak and he was hacking up a storm. And then the next time spoke, you spoke with his wife. She said he was resting, and clerics are tending to him.
If I recall the symptoms, at least from what was initially, it made him very weak, wheezing and hacking up. But the next time we visit them, it was to no avail. We had to speak to their wife.
If you are
Uh,
coming for medicine, for a sickness that cannot be cleared, or at least healed by clerics, you have come to the wrong place. We do not hold medicine like that, as
is
the magic and such that is required to make it is within the forest we protect.
tis why we wish to venture deeper into the forest in hopes to find the brother of Lady Brokenridge, or we hope that she may have a hint as to where we can find such cures.
You are looking for the Broken Ridge. We have him here.
Oh, will we be able to see him?
It depends on if he wishes to see you.
Hmm, fair enough. His sister has sent for us, so we hope that he can at least lend his ear.
Then we shall let him know that his sister requests his presence. But you have come at a rather difficult time. Apologies for the defenses we've had to erect, but the orcs have become, shall we say, more prevalent to this area.
We've noticed.
You notice that up north the orcs seem to be, well, a lot more bold, for the lack of a better term. Still remember
Numerous.
back in the forest
It
of
is because these are not your normal orc. These are mountain orcs, used to fighting the bearded and, well, much thicker armor of the dwarves. They move south for ripe picking, especially because the forest is here. That is why we have stopped here to defend it. So, while we fetch your broken ridge, do find yourself relaxing. Perhaps find yourself a warm meal. And she points over to the other small building to her left. Looks to be another squat stone structure.
We,
But abide your time. Do not expect it to come quickly.
we
Zora
thank
nods.
you for at least the opportunity.
She nods. And what are your names, if you do not have one for your group?
People call me Vullis.
She nods.
Zoram.
She nods.
Yeah, sorry. My name's Nerim. And he'll give a
Nods as well.
slight nod as well.
Rowan kind of puffs himself up. Rowan, pleasure. And then, last but not least, you have Clyde, who just kind of nods and waves. Call me Clyde. She nods as well. She looks at the one in the back, just kind of nods their head. I have but many names, your ladyship. Perhaps it might be best if I not tell you as I am, from that of which you got. She nods. I understand. It is of no insult to me. He nods again. As the introductions get out of the way, you just see she looks over you all once again. We shall see if we cannot retrieve what you're looking for. And she turns about with the small group that she has and walks back through the snow.
I guess we should probably rest up in the squatting area.
Yes, especially after the fight with those, well, corrupted creatures. I think
You guys have had a few days. You guys have had 5 days.
Oh,
of-
Okay.
So you
Thank
guys
you.
should be fully healed, fully rested. All hit points, all hit die, all spell slots. Everything returned. If that wasn't clear, I apologize. Just let me know and I'll let you guys know.
yeah,
But
uh,
as you have finally made it and successfully completed a portion of your quest and made it to the small fort which withholds the clerics of whatever god, goddess, has found themselves planted upon this plateau of snow, we'll go ahead and end there.
I feel like getting back is going to be the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
no doubt about that. But at least I remember where we left our card, so not totally lost.
You guys are lucky. There's something funny going on with your cart.
What?
You guys left your cart behind. And believe it or not, something's happening to it. If you guys remember, the last time you had your cart, you ran into a certain thing that was kind of keeping you from a long rest.
Oh
Oh
no!
no.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Yeah, remember, that was a curse.
Mm-hmm. Don't tell me, is the cart fucking cursed now?
I don't know, is it?
Cart.
Great, I'm gonna have to burn 100. I actually I don't even know how much I paid. I don't remember how much I paid for it.
Whenever someone uses the cart, it's just gonna have like this weird wicker coming after them.
But as we go ahead and end tonight's session, I will go ahead and say hello, everyone, and somewhat of a goodbye to those of you on Twitch. Hello! Again. But I will say, how'd you enjoy it? Did you have fun with the rest of us? I hope you did. If you guys have, or at least have had any fun here, or at least any interest in what's going on, and you want to see just what ended up leading to the situation with our, well, beloved adventurers, you can go ahead and check out the small YouTube playlist we have, if Behemoth wants to throw that up for us.
There we go.
And if you have any questions about when we might be returning to this beloved game, or any questions in general about how it's played or anything about who's playing it, you can go ahead and check out the Discord we have. And if you have any questions, you can go there and checking all the right boxes, ask the right people. You can ask me, Behemoth, anybody, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you. But once again, if you had fun, maybe you could come by and perhaps drop by and drop a follow, maybe. I mean, Behemoth doesn't beg for it, but I mean, I will.
Oh my god,
So-
are we really gonna start renaming Clyde's Vicious Mockery to just your mum gay?
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Oh my
It is the will of the gods. But if you really enjoyed it, and I mean really, really enjoyed it, and perhaps like I might have to kiss you for it, but like you could subscribe. But that's just me. I know it's pitiful, it's pathetic, but we love you.
I'm gonna take over here. Thank you, Grape.
No, he's stealing it from me.
Okay. With that out of the way, again, thanks everyone for showing up. I'm glad to see that even though this has been somewhat irregular recently due to events out of our control, sadly, that we're getting back into the swing of things. Where at least we as the players having fun, and I hope you guys are too. And as Grape said, if you want to hang out here again, please feel free to follow or just, show up next Saturday at 8 p.m. Central European Time, which should correspond to, I think, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm really not that smart about time zones, so give it like an hour plus or minus. I think it's going to be about 2 Eastern. Anyways, main thing is I hope you enjoyed it. We're having a lot of fun with it, and even though that, sadly, due to how D&D works and the amount of conversation required for it, I can't really constantly look into chat, answer questions, and all that. I do hope that you enjoy just sticking around and maybe just listening, because I know that some people do enjoy that. Any other things? Well, at some point, I'm hopefully going to play more Final Fantasy VI. I've gotten the Pixel Remaster on release. I've played a good 2 hours, 2.5, or like maybe 3 hours of it. And then I didn't touch it because 14 consumed my life. But yeah, at some point I'll get back to that. I'll have to see though, because good old university is starting back up again. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Take care, everyone.